Hi, everybody. I'm Phil Hawkins, and for the last 13 years, I've been leading landscape photography workshops in Yosemite National Park and in other parts of the country, and also in Italy. And what we're going to do this afternoon is we're going to show you how to combine different parts of different images to create a really dramatic final image. And let's take a look now at what we're going to do. And as we look at this image, we see that the sunset is just a little bit, well, I won't say the sunset itself is boring, but the image of the sun here is just a little bit boring. And what we want to do is we want to take this image, combine it with this image, and also combine it with this image in order to get this final product. So that's what we're going to do. Let's take a look at how it works. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this image and combine it with this one. I like the foreground here, and rather than just brighten this foreground, which as we know does nothing but introduce noise, then we're going to take this image, I'm going to left click, hold it down, drag it until it's a floating image, kind of move it off here to give myself a little bit of room. Come get the Move tool, put the cursor inside the floating image, hold down the Shift key, and then drag the new image on top of the old, all right? And then we go to our layer stack over here, and we check to make sure everything is aligned, which it seems like it is. And then I'm going to establish a mask up here, and then come get my brush tool, and then I'm going to enlarge the brush just a little bit and come up to the top and just go across. I want to set my flow setting to 100% and then just come across. And don't worry about things that you see that are weird or not right. We're going to fix all that later. Now I'm going to reduce the size of the brush a little more. Come in like this. And maybe just a little bit lower. Just like that. Now what we have is a darker sky, which gives us a little more drama, and also I like the fact that a little bird is standing here in the surf. For some reason, I just like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two, and I'm going to combine them, merge visible. I'm going to take this final product, and then I'm going to come get this image, and again, drag it off the dock, create a floating image, go get the Move tool, hold down the Shift key, put the cursor inside the floating image, drag it over, and let it drop. Now you'll notice it's not the same size, it's a completely different image, but that's okay. We're only concerned about this area right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a copy of the background layer, and then I want to click on the sunset, and I'm going to reduce the opacity to 50%. That is so I can see what I'm looking at and I can align things a little better. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this right here. Now keep in mind, you have to line things up so this reflection in the water is flush with the new image that's going right here. All right, so now we've got this right there. I think that's lined up pretty good. We're going to come up to the blend modes and we're going to pick screen. And watch what happens. Now I'm going to take the opacity and put it back at 100%, and that looks a lot better, but now we have the issue of the old sun on top or behind the new sun, and we're going to take care of that later. But the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of these little lines right here that delineate where the two images have been merged together, and that's a very easy process. And we just make sure we have the top layer chosen. Come in and get the eraser tool, and we're at 100% flow on that, so we just go up and we just erase that edge. Do the other side, and let's take that edge out right there. Now the other thing we want to do is blend this area here just a little better and just experiment and see what we got. Yeah, kind of like that, and the rest of it is very good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge all these together, flatten image. Now I'm going to go to 100% magnification on this. I'm going to come down like this, and now we're going to get the clone stamp tool. It's going to do this the easy way. And we will hold down the Alt key, find our anchor point, which should be down around here, and then we're going to come in very carefully And we're going to get rid of this sun that's in the background. Let's go ahead and change our source just a bit. And this takes longer than you might think it should because it's just a painstaking process. I'm going to close in that area right there. And then I'm going to come in the other side and get another sample. Let's grab this right here and come in. Now there's some artifacting going on and we will correct that, so fear not. Things sometimes look like they're just a little bit repetitive, and they are, but we'll fix it. Okay, so far so good. Let's do another little stab of it right along in here to kind of make things blend a little better. I'm going to come get this area right here, bring it down, and we'll set that right there. Sometimes this takes a while. You know, these that look really, really simple sometimes are not that simple. All right, so I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge the brush. I'm also going to reduce the flow down here. And I'm going to pick this and come over, and I just want to blend this. That's why I'm reducing the flow, because I just want to blend it just a little bit. Much better. Now down here we've got some repetition, so let's go ahead and take care of that. We're going to lower or reduce the size of the brush. How do I want to approach this? Let's go here, see how this is going to look. Nope, don't like that. So we'll come and get the spot healing brush. Hit that once, see what happens. And the great thing about this process is you've got clouds that can take any shape that you want them to, and so you really don't have to be that perfect in matching all the textures and everything. Let's take a look and see how this looks on the broad scale, and I think we've got it nailed. That is about as good as it's going to get. Now the other things that you can do is come up to Filter, Camera Raw Filter, and we want to finish this image out by adding just a little bit of texture and contrast to things. And that means we're going to take the clarity slider and go over to here like that. And of course, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's all according to taste. I'm going to have these blacks and maybe boost these blacks up just a little bit. Bring down the shadows. Let's bring down the highlights and see what that does. Yeah, that gives us a little more drama. In fact, I'm going to increase these shadows. And I like that right there. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now a tiny little other thing that we might do on this image is there's some pelicans flying here and right here. And for some reason it's driving me nuts, and that's very easy to correct. So what I'm going to do is just come in and click on that, and it's gone. And then we click on this, and it's gone. And I think that is a finished image. So let's go to the history states, and we'll take a look at the before and after. There's the before, and there's the after, and that's how we combine two images to make a really dramatic final product in Photoshop.